Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. In the last part, we stopped Luke Atme before he was declared guilty of being a thief and not a murderer. Although I'm fairly certain that you can still take a criminal that's in jail and charge him with another crime he did. So really, I'm pretty sure that... I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure you can still charge someone who's already in jail with another crime. So anyway, let's go! October 14th, 12:14 p.m., District Court. It has been 12 minutes, not a full day. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive, inside your heart. Nicky boy! Oh, Mr. White. Is it true that detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he a Lordly Tailor that night? I don't know why I'm giving her, like, my Lotta Hart voice, but whatever, I don't care. Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time, better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. We'll do it. I have a guide, it's cool. God, I'm such a cheater. But I don't care. I don't want to look like an idiot. I want to look like a smart person because only smart people look at guides. Okay, I'm stupid. I suck at this game sometimes. Alright. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. Well, well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask to Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask to Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play for the fool, or to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. And wow, it actually sparkled right in time with that frigging message, that text bubble. So you continue to exist. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Mask to Mask? Of course. Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he himself should be ashamed of himself. Jeez. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. Alright, Acme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're listening. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Ugh. The alibi. I was stealing the urn as Mask to Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time in which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder. No, it's not. I already know that. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Mask to Mask cannot be in two places at once. Whatever. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. No, you're not. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I am the reincarnation of Franziska von Karma. God. I think he's trying to say you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. And what is it full of? Crap. Okay. Let's go. Press, I don't care. Press. Thank you. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called Mask to Mask. The fact that but conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is. Well, what do you mean?
Objection!
Are you saying that this is not, in fact, Luke Atme? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask to Mask to create an alibi? Oh, what an interesting idea! Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Give it up. If Luke Atme was a KB security during the murder, then the Mask to Mask in this picture has to be a fake. And there actually was an accomplice. But right now, I have no idea who it is. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's gotta be another way. And I'm gonna find it. Alright. Let's continue. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Yes, I know. Now shut up and tell me what you know. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point? That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Wardley Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Abby was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Wardley Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime? When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
Objection!
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody. It looks like I'd better gather information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo. And I know what it is. Alright, the time at which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder. Wrong, wrong. Alright. I'm sorry. I'm never doing that again. I'm so sorry. Okay. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, didn't you? Or don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Wardley Taylor, and on top of that, it was Wardley Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. No, it's not! Oh, well, wait, no. That picture, never mind. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. It looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false? It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at Kane Security, or KB Security, my bad. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Mask to Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Okay, so, let me see here. Okay, you know what? I'm looking at this guide right now. Do you want to know the order that you have to do this? You press statement 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 3 again. Okay, now this one. God, I don't know how you're supposed to guess this. Alright, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Wardley Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. the basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is. I know what is wrong. I know what's wrong. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night, before the theft took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? The fact his freaking thing, his outfit is freaking hilariously stupid, but it is the paint. For there was a statue over that. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. No, it's not. Oh, I just thought of another kind of stain that it could be, considering that the picture makes it look white, but then again, that would be an incredibly childish joke that I still made anyway. You're welcome. Anyway, blood. Now this is getting interesting. Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright? What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? It is supposed to be this. On my face, golden statue. There you go. Have fun. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection!
But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would have taken more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? Well, I mean, he was the only one that was there, so it must have been Luke at me. So, have fun with that. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke at me. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have to your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? A reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Exclamation point? Whatever. Look at me. You pretended to be mask to mask, to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like a cheap film at a drugstore. That's such a stupid metaphor. Whatever. You've been exposed like a picture. God. It just sounds stupid. I get it, but it's stupid. Alright, this is why you move the statue. A single fatal flaw. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? The timestamp. It's the timestamp because I'm cheating. I don't even need to act like I don't know because I just do. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. Well, what do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been a Lordly Taylor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was this statue placed? When was this statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atthemurderer had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atthemurderer must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Okay, that one's not bad, honestly, if you get it. I hope people get it. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atthemurderer had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in this photo. Quah! Oh wait, quah! There we go, that's better. He's a bird. Order, order, Mr. Atthemurderer, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? Well, what's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer! Computer! According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor's staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Oh! Ah! Order, order. Mr. Godo, what is the meaning of this? Coffee. Godo, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial, which means I'm still good to the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think you've got your points mixed up with your other points. Wow, my voice died. Anyway, so you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is... Okay, now you're at 12, that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Mask to Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Alright, fine. But we shall hear about it next time, because I'm at the 18 minutes. So see you guys then.